Welcome to Collections of Cinema.
Welcome, everybody. It's been a while. It's been actually 3 weeks. And it's Daniel's fault, just so you know.
How is it my fault?
Because you were in Amsterdam. Hamsterdam.
Amsterdam.
Hamster clam. Hamster her clam.
Actually, I wasn't in Amsterdam.
You traveled to Amsterdam and then you traveled up north to a little town called Hoorn where your brother is residing.
Yep. Beanie, we discussed this. If you bite, you go in the hallway.
Yeah, I think he goes in the hallway.
Yeah. Stop.
So yeah, we didn't do a podcast for 2 weeks now. So
Yeah. But it's also your fault because when I wasn't gone, you were working like crazy. So
I was a little busy.
okay, wait. I'm moving the dog outside.
Yeah, I told you. I literally told you that he would do that, and you're like, "Oh, it's fine. You've been in here." So yeah. Sorry if you have been expecting a podcast. We sometimes, life is busy, and we sometimes are not able to do one, or we can't really fit it in.
Yeah.
Or it's not a priority. That's just simply how it is. And we wanted to do it. The episode we wanted to do was on Amadeus, because we watched that movie and we thought like, hey, we should just do one of that. But it's been almost 3 weeks now that we've watched that movie, 2.5 maybe. So it was not topical anymore. It was not
topical. It was never really topical.
It was never topical, but
we could still do it. It's not like, I've seen that movie 1,000 times. Yeah. It's one of my favorites.
See, I mean, sure, we could still do it, but we watched Sleepers last night.
We did, from 1967.
No, what are you talking? It's 1996.
I meant 90, not 60.
Oh man, it starts already great. I'm sorry. I'm excusing.
If you're gonna act like this, then I'm not gonna do the podcast with you.
I'm sorry, everybody.
Also, how many times have you done that?
I'm sorry, everybody. Okay, I'm Woifi. This is Dani. Welcome back to Collections of Cinema.
Yeah.
Not intro. Okay, so Sleepers. Yeah, we just did it. I'm just trying something. Okay, so Sleepers. We watched Sleepers last night. A legal crime drama from 1996, based on the book from Lorenzo Cartera, one of the main characters from the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The book came out in 1995 with the same title, and someone on Threads yesterday wrote that the book is apparently fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Barry Levinson, directed the movie. He's known for, The Natural, Good Morning Vietnam, Wag the Dog. He produced Dopesick, one of the best miniseries, and he did also some really great movies like The Bay, from 2012 though. What Just Happened, Man of the Year was a great one. Bandits I really liked. Rain Man. Yeah, some really great movies. That movie came out in 1996, as you already said. And just some quick little things. The budget was $44 million, which is actually a lot.
That's a lot for 96.
And the movie made $165.6 million, which is a decent amount for a movie like that. And starring Kevin Bacon, Robert De Niro, Dustin Hoffman, Jason Patric, Brad Pitt, and some other great actors.
And I would say primarily starring the kids, because they were more in it than everybody else, and they were all brilliant.
The kids are a big portion of the movie. That's true. I think a little more than half of the movie.
I would say they carry the movie. They're
and
especially
sure.
the kid who plays Shakes. He's so good. They're all great, but he's so good.
All fucking great. Obviously, the movie primarily highlights the bigger the grown-up versions of the kids, simply because of the names of the actors. But yeah, the kids carry the movie, and I feel like the kids do the heavy lifting, because it's about, let's go into the story.
Yeah.
What is it about?
Well, these 4 boys growing up in Brooklyn?
Hell's Kitchen.
Hell's Kitchen. They basically pull a prank that goes wrong. And
I mean, no, let's go
open something.
Yeah. Let's go back a little bit. So those 4 kids grew up in Hell's Kitchen in the 60s. They're all, I think they all have Italian heritage.
Yeah, sure they do. Don't eat during the podcast.
Oh, I'm so hungry right now. I'm sorry. But so they're all also kind of religious. So they grew up with a religious background, and one of the.
If you're gonna eat during the podcast, then maybe don't eat while you're talking, because it's not pleasant to listen to.
Sorry. And one of the fathers or priests is played by Robert De Niro, and he is, I would even say, father figure to.
Yeah, sure.
He's
a father figure to all of the boys because he inspires them to. He's not like your typical priest, and he actually gives a shit about them and their aspirations and their talents. Like, he pays attention, and also to their quirks and their silliness, and he wants that to still be part of their lives very clearly.
And he's aware that as he has seen with friends of his, that it can go south very fast, especially growing up in an environment where drug dealing and crime is big.
And not to mention abuse in your family, and because that's pretty much all families.
Exactly, so he wants to protect them. So so they're close friends, they like each other, they obviously do stuff that is not super legal, but it makes money for them, and so that's how they spend their lives. And yes, keep going. You were going for the prank.
Okay. So they pull a prank on a hot dog vendor, and thought it would be funny to like not only steal a hot dog but also to like move his cart, and they thought it would be just the cherry on top to hold the cart. Their plan was to hold the cart by the stairs. Their plan was to hold the cart by the stairs of the subway, and just as the guy was running up to it, like as if they were going to drop it, and just as the guy was running up to it, you put that there, not me. Why are you holding it up to me?
I just wanted to show you.
Yeah, but you put it there. But anyway, sorry, this podcast is chaotic. So they wanted to hold it like falling over the stairs basically until the hot dog guy, like the vendor, ran up to them, and then they were gonna somehow have him save it because he was strong enough, I guess, to keep it from falling. But they let it fall a little too far. They couldn't hold it because it was really, really heavy, and it fell down the stairs before the vendor was able to reach them and ended up killing a guy.
No, not killing, but knocking him out and severely injuring the guy.
I thought he was killed. Are you sure? Okay.
They were not, if you would have paid attention, the judge didn't, there was no manslaughter. It was, I don't know what it was called, but they injured him and he was in the hospital for a while, in a coma even. But yeah, it was pretty serious. So they almost killed a guy with this stupid behavior, and each of them got sentenced for a couple of months, up to, I think, 1.5 years. It
was no more than 18 months, but no less than a year.
Right.
Except for one of them, Shakes, got no less than 6 months, but no more than a year.
Right. So they all got sent to this juvenile detention center called Wilkinson Home for Boys in upstate New York. So all the names got changed in the book, and also in the movie.
Because it's a true story, if that was not made clear.
So already. This Wilkinson's Home for Boys doesn't really exist, but there is a detention center somewhere upstate New York, and that's where they got sent. And obviously, it's a rough environment. The boys quickly learn that they have to not only make friends, but also keep distance to some of the guards. But the guards... And this is where the heavy and very dark serious undertone of the movie comes in. Some of the guards are pedophiles. Let's just say that. Yeah. Not only that, but they are abusive. They use their power for their own good or satisfaction or whatever. And they fuck with them quite literally and figuratively.
Yep.
Yeah. The movie is pretty heavy, and you see a lot of things and you hear a lot of things that might spark your imagination. And I think it's therefore not an easy watch.
No.
And if you're triggered by things like that, by molestation or by rape and stuff like that.
I mean, I hope everyone is triggered by that, but
no, but
yeah, but I know what you mean.
To a degree where you have anxiety again, or
for sure
PTSD or trauma, whatever, then you maybe want to step aside and not watch the movie.
Yeah. But on the other side, it is also a great story of revenge. And because in like the most satisfying way. Yeah. Quite honestly.
So
it basically cuts to like 13 years later at some point. So Shakes gets out after 6 months.
Yep.
And basically from that point that he gets released, you see like his last night there. And then from that point, they do like a hard cut to like 13 years later in 1981.
Yeah. Two of the boys, John and Tommy, have now criminal records and to work for the Irish mob.
One of them is what did they say? He's suspected. He's a suspect on like 5 murder cases or something.
After they...
John, I think.
But yeah, they saw one of the guards played by Kevin Bacon. And I just, a little sidebar here, Kevin Bacon plays insanely well. But
it's really easy to hate him in that role, and which is so hard because you love Kevin Bacon.
Right.
Everyone loves Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, right. And some of the people, like I posted on Fred said we're watching that movie, and some of the people are like, yeah, I can't, after that movie, I can't watch anything with Kevin Bacon in it anymore. Or
interesting.
This movie destroyed the cool image I had of Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, that's kind of sad, though. I mean, well done, but it's also sad.
I get it. He shows his acting chops in this movie, and he fucking nails it because he's so good while being so fucking vile and just disgusting and the creepy asshole. Yeah. But yeah, so John and Tommy find him in a pub in Hell's Kitchen, and they shoot him. They just cold-bloodedly kill him and walk out of the pub, and sure, they get arrested and charged with murder, but there's a trial, obviously, and that trial is now in the, I would say, second half of the movie, the big plot point where they come up with this, Brad Pitt's character comes up with this scheme of hiring another lawyer to defend those two.
No, I mean, they already had that lawyer assigned to them, and they were trying to get that lawyer. I should just pull a U and say, if you were paying attention.
Right.
They had this lawyer already, Snyder, I think his name is, and he's a drunk.
I mean, not really.
What, not really?
No, he wasn't assigned to them.
Yes, he was hired already, and they were trying to change. And Brad Pitt's character said, no, the best thing you can do is to keep him.
Right.
So he was already on retainer for them.
He was basically bribed more or less to stay on the case.
He was bribed to stay.
Right. Yeah. And to keep his things and follow an exact outline of questions and things to do for
basically a script. Yeah.
Right. For Brad Pitt's character to introduce certain aspects to the jury, and then also one of the other guards to open up maybe a case on the whole Wilkinson home for boys molestation and abuse thing.
So basically he was the prosecutor on the case, but he wanted to lose the case. Right. And he had to do it in a way that didn't seem like he wanted to lose the case, and that nobody would find out that he has some sort of connection already to those boys.
Right. So
or now
this movie combines legal drama with drama, and it does it in a very great way where, like, it's a very dramatic, dark movie, as we already said, but the legal aspect of it is very exciting and thrilling, and just like you want the boys to win, and you want the boys, even though they killed the guy in cold blood, which he deserved, to win this case, to be free. And in the end, that's exactly what happens. Yeah. They win the case. Brad Pitt's character loses what he wanted, and the other 4, I think, in the movie, it's 3 other guards or ex-guards of the home, of the Wilkinson home, They get what they deserve. One of them gets killed, I think. The other one gets prosecuted. And the other one, I don't remember, gets arrested also. I don't know. Or also gets killed. I don't remember. But yeah, they have coming what they deserved. And then the boys, after a couple of months later, they meet up again because they had to keep distance, not to raise any suspicion that they know each other. And there was no like record of them knowing each other. So they met a couple of months later, 6 or 8 months later, they met again and had like this night of celebrating and just being friends again. And after that, they
kind of went their separate ways.
And two of them died. John and Tommy died because they...
Yeah, one of them died at 29 and one at 20... No, one of them died at 28 and one died at 29.
Yeah, something like that. Pretty young.
I mean, the two that were already, pretty heavy into the crime world.
Yeah, one of them succumbs to alcohol poisoning and the other one is ambushed and murdered by rival criminals. And Shakes is still doing some writing on or journalism and stuff like that.
And what is his name? Michael became a carpenter, I think. Right?
Michael moved upstairs, stopped law. But
I liked that scene where Shakes was telling him this is going to be like really good for your career, basically, and he was like, "Oh no, I'm done. Like I'm gonna move on to the next thing because I got what I wanted out of the law." Like he's like, "This is what I wanted from." That, like it won't be better than this.
Yeah.
So
that was
really cool.
His revenge, basically, in the most satisfying way. And he basically said, no, he needs to get away, and because he still can't close his eyes without seeing the horror he endured. And there's so many good scenes. It even gives me chills talking about it. Like there's this one scene where he asks, like Brad Pitt asks Jason Patric's character Shakes, "Do you still
sleep with the light on?"
Sleep with the light on and stuff like that. And even the scene when they were celebrating and they cut back to when they were young, and it's just a very emotional movie where you feel what they went through as kids and all the trauma they endured and the trauma they took into their adulthood, and some of them were able to outlive the drama or fight the drama or even not fight but work through the drama to a certain degree to live a semi-normal life, while the other two, John and Tommy, did not. They tried to push it down as much, but ultimately they had to surrender to that trauma by alcohol, drugs, criminal world. Yeah, it's a very tragic story, and it's also it has a lot about themes about male toxicity, obviously, and obviously the abuse and the trauma aspect, and also not talking about it. Like there's a lot of suppressed trauma that nobody talks about, and even at the end, like they win the case or they win the overall thing, and they were able to get some sort of revenge and also satisfaction at the end, but they still don't really talk about it. It's never an option or even a thing for them, and that's a very sad. Obviously, in the 80s, early 60s, and then 80s, it's not something you did or you do, and it's still very relevant in certain ways. I feel like, because
in a lot of ways,
right?
Most people wouldn't most people don't report things like that, especially when it involves people in power and. Yeah, because it's fear, they're afraid of what else is going to happen, or
Also, it's shame. I mean, I feel like nowadays, thankfully, the like the Me Too movement and stuff like that, I feel like got a lot of like the female aspect of the whole thing a little more into the limelight, and I feel like
but it was also detrimental to it because
let's
people
not
took it too far. But
let's not go into that. But I feel like more women were empowered to come forward and talk about it.
I agree, but I still think there's way too much shame surrounding
totally, and that's
which shouldn't be the case, but that is the case.
That's exactly, I feel like, something that like male on male rape or stuff like that, it's still something that I feel like happens way more than we think. And it's not really talked about, and it's it's a very tragic thing. And it also shows the impact of childhood abuse in long-term effects. It's kind of you see what it can do to you if you don't work through it, if you don't work on this thing that happened to you that you obviously had no control or choice over. Yeah, and I mean, Robert De Niro and Hoffman, I mean, together in the one scene, they only had one scene together in the courtroom, and Robert De Niro just plays the coolest motherfucking... I have a cool Letterboxd thing later.
Me too. It's probably the same
priest, one. Yeah, it's the same. And he's so fucking cool, and I said during the movie, like, if he would be a priest, I would go to church.
Yeah.
There's some trivia.
Yeah, I was going to share some trivia too.
Leonardo DiCaprio was originally considered in one of the younger roles, but the cast went with fresh faces to contrast with the adult versions.
Mm-hmm.
De Niro and Hoffman reunited basically for one scene. Filming location, they filmed in Hell's Kitchen. They didn't film in Hell's Kitchen, but in other New York neighborhoods. And they tried to evoke the 1960s atmosphere, and I feel like they did really well. They also filmed parts in Connecticut, in the corrections facility scenes, mainly. The music is great. John Williams composed the music, and I really like the music. Often very tense, and also it fit very well with the series undertone. Yeah, it's a very 90s movie in terms of music, but it's a great score. I really like that. Yeah.
Okay, I have a couple.
Yep.
Kevin Bacon, Robert De Niro, and Dustin Hoffman never met during the production because of the logistics of the shoot. So, like, unless they had a scene together, they didn't. They weren't.
Robert De Niro, all those three together.
What?
What do you mean? Like each of them with each other, or all?
Unless they had a scene together, they didn't converse outside of the set because they thought it would be a disservice of the production. Okay. Mm-hmm. They wanted the characters to really dislike the other characters or like the other characters respectively. Yeah. Okay. During filming, Brad Renfro, I probably said his name wrong, he's one of the kids, and Joe Perino wore colored contact lenses so that they would have the same colored eyes as Brad Pitt and Jason Patric, who played their characters as adults. Yeah. Brad Pitt said he was not fond of his performance on the movie. He said I think I was a disservice to it. This is the period where I really started getting confused and discombobulated because my career started blowing up, for one. Suddenly I had a lot of people in my ear telling me what I should do and what I shouldn't do. I mean, I liked his performance. I thought it was really good. I don't think he did a disservice at all.
Nope.
At the end of the movie, Carol has a son in a photograph, and the son is the same actor who played Young John. Oh, okay. So I think it's to allude then to...
Yeah, I mean, that's what they did at the movie.
I mean, she named him after all of that, except for one. That's what I thought was weird. Yeah. His name was John Michael...
I don't remember
something.
but she called him Shakes. It's supposed to be a true story. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office said that this case never happened or something like that, and a lot of things was basically said that was a lie or just never happened. And
politics.
Yeah, right. So it's if like the main character Cartera, who wrote the book, still stands to the story and says, it happened, all happened. Either way, it's a great movie. I really like that movie. It's one of those like great 90s movies that I feel like it's almost a must see if you can endure heavy topics like that. Yeah. But along the cast, Robert De Niro, the young boys, it's a very simple story, but in the end it's very satisfying and a great watch.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Okay, let's go to movie of the week.
Movie of the week.
Okay, we watched Spider-Man: Homecoming, Warfare, Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, and Mission Impossible 1.
I mean, for me, it's Mission Impossible: Final Reckoning.
For me, it's Warfare.
I mean, Warfare was also, it's you kind of have to pick Warfare, right?
I mean, not really. We can also pick them both. I don't know. I mean, let's just quickly go to Warfare and then go to Mission Impossible. They're great movies. Okay, Warfare.
You can't really compare the two, so it's hard to pick between them.
Warfare is an anti-war movie. Directed by what's his name?
Your mom.
Ray Mendoza. That's the real guy who the story is based on, and Alex Garland, who is known from 28 Weeks Later and
the guy who it's based on directed it.
Yeah,
that's cool. I didn't know that he directed it.
Yeah, he co-wrote and
I knew that, but
co-directed
I
the
didn't
whole
know that
thing based on his memory.
That's cool.
And so the movie is essentially just it's set in Iraq War, and it's essentially just one Navy SEAL team that goes on a mission in a house, and it's just all based around that house.
They basically get stuck. They get ambushed,
and a lot of them die. And in short, it's just a depiction of how fucking senseless war is. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's not a glorification. It's not a look, we are so awesome, we are Americans, blah blah. It's this fucking thing is so pointless. Yeah,
and it also shows the side of it that maybe people don't realize is actually a thing that happens, where these war zones are in residential areas, where it's not like when you see those old paintings, where they meet on some giant field somewhere, and they just go at it. But it's legitimately kicking people out of their homes.
Destroying everything around it.
And in this case, there was a family still in the home while this ambush was happening, and there were soldiers in a room with them trying to keep them safe from, getting shot or killed or whatever. But it's still like, how fucking horrible is that? That happens, and that this is happening in people's homes, and their homes are being destroyed because of this. They might be getting killed because of this. And for what?
Goes great along with Alex Garland's movie Civil War that came out 2 years ago.
Goes very relevant to what's going on right now, honestly.
War, yeah. Mission Impossible, obviously the final, for now, Mission Impossible movie. The second part to the Dead Reckoning. And it's just a fucking great action movie with insane stunts and action pieces, and
honestly, it's one
incredible.
Of the best Mission Impossible movies, I would say.
See, for me, the best one is either Fallout. That's the one where he's on the plane on the side, or Rogue
that one's
Nation.
Great. Really, I like Ghost Protocol.
Ghost Protocol is cool too. Yeah.
Is that what it's called in the English version? There's one.
I know Phantom Protocol. You mean Phantom Protocol. Ghost
Protocol. They changed it to Phantom Protocol in German, which is so stupid.
Now, the thing is,
Ghost Protocol is great.
A lot of people say, blah 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 blah. It's too much exposition, or no, without the one little stunt, the movie would be boring.
I don't agree with that at all.
It's the same. It's not. It doesn't. It doesn't reinvent the fucking movie.
It never was supposed to be different for everyone. It's not only a continuation of a story, but it's also like, hey, here's your mission. That's the whole point of the movie. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, is blah.
It's like
it's exactly supposed to be that.
It's like, I'm watching a Mission Impossible movie, but I want to see something else. Like,
then don't watch
Mission Impossible because.
But with this one, what I liked so much about this one is that I felt like the story, there was more story than there typically. I think there's always a decent story, but this one really kind of expanded on that, and they made it ended up very full circle.
Very full circle, and just, I don't know, dramatic stuff in there, and just, I don't know, I liked it.
I really liked it.
I was captivated. I was pressed into my seat. I was, on the edge of my seat in certain scenes. I was like saying "holy fuck" a lot because they did some crazy shit.
Yeah, they did really cool stuff.
And it's a great movie. I really liked it. Okay. So Sleepers. Letterboxd.
Okay, I give you the one that you wanted to say because I know which one it is.
Nah, just do it.
Really?
Yeah.
One of the reviews is 4 stars, and it says PILF. Which is priest I'd like to fuck.
Yeah. I mean, another one is so you wouldn't be able to keep me away from church if Robert DeNiro was the priest.
Yeah.
All those thirsty comments are
a lot of them.
Yeah. All this because of a hot dog.
I don't like that one.
No, I don't like that one either.
4 stars, jaw lines galore.
I really like that movie. Go watch Sleepers if you can endure Do you have something funny again? Yeah, just go for it.
Brad Pitt smoking under the streetlight got me feeling some kind of way, not gonna lie.
Yeah. No, it's a great ensemble of cast. It's a great story. It combines a lot of different genres. It's funny at moments. It's very heartwarming at moments. Yeah, it's a great 90s movie. I really like it. That's it. So everybody, we will be back probably next week again. So sorry again for not posting. If you want to support us, head over to our Patreon, head over to our Threads, head over to our Instagram and follow us there. Like the podcast, review the podcast.
And YouTube.
Right. Like the movie like the podcast on YouTube. And also comment maybe if you have seen the movie, if you like the movie, and subscribe there as well. That's it.
That's it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.